Welcome, Arisen. I've heard you wanted to play Dragon's Dogma Online, but are unsure how to do so. Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to go over the installation and setup process so that you'll be able to play it offline. There will hopefully be chapters that you can use to jump around this video as needed. If there isn't, check the description for timestamps. To start off, we'll be downloading a few different things. Linked below is the server dedicated to the revival of Dragon's Dogma Online. I highly recommend you join it, as that's the method I'll be using to download all of these files. First things first, we're going to go ahead and download the game client. You can do this from the Google Drive or from Mediafire. If Google Drive isn't working and you don't want to mess with Mediafire, you can go ahead and save the files of your favorites, create an empty text file, and download both at once. This will bypass the limit and download both of them as a .zip. You can then unzip and delete the text file and continue on. Next, we're going to go ahead and download .NET SDK 6.0. There is a new 7.0 version, but don't use that as it does not work for the files we use .NET for. After that, we'll go ahead and download the server source code. To do that, simply go to this link, click code, and hit download as a zip. Finally, we'll download the file that will allow you to launch the game. This is the simplest of all, just click on the link and hit download. Welcome to the next step. We're not going to go ahead and install everything we've just downloaded. First, we're going to unzip the .rar for the game client. You can use anything to unpack a .rar, but I prefer 7-zip as it's free. Now we're going to install .NET SDK onto the computer. To do this, click on the application we downloaded and hit install when the window pops up. You'll need admin access, but you should have it if this is your PC. To make sure it's properly installed as well, open the command prompt and type in .NET -- info. If it's properly installed, you should see this. If it's not installed, you'll need to troubleshoot that. You can look up what versions are compatible with whatever version of Windows you're running and try that. Lastly, we're going to unzip the server source code. For the last step, I'm going to show you how to set up everything so that you can run the game offline. We're going to go ahead and add the file that launches the game into the game's files itself. Make sure it's with the game files, it won't work otherwise. Now we're going to go ahead and open up Aerogene. You'll find a command file called publish. Run this and it'll load a bunch of new files into the folder. Next, we're going to jump into the newly added publish folder, then into win-x64, and finally, you can run the start server command file. After running it, go ahead and go into the server folder and then into the files folder. You'll find a file called aerogene.ddon.config. Run it using a text editor and search for wipe using Ctrl F. You'll find a line of text that says wipe on startup. Go ahead and change this true to false. This will prevent the game from deleting your save. Just to be safe, go ahead and close and relaunch the start server command file. Finally, we're going to go into the game files and use the launch file we put in there a few minutes ago. Go ahead and create your character and skip any cutscenes if you don't want to watch them. The game will likely launch you in the tutorial zone, which is broken. Simply hit escape or the start button on your controller and head back to the main menu. Once you load in your character again, you'll be able to play as you wish. Welcome to Dragon's Dogma Online. The biggest issue you'll have trying to play this game involves your PC's antivirus. Since this technically isn't the official game, your antivirus may consider it a threat to your PC. Go into your antivirus and make sure that you allow the folders through it. Allowing the files to pass through will prevent your antivirus from snatching any important files away and making the game unplayable. The second biggest issue you may run into is your firewall preventing you from running it. Similar to an antivirus, all you need to do is let it run through the firewall. Can I play the story? The story currently isn't working. If you want to play solely for that, then I recommend checking back in the future. What works? There's a list on the Discord server, but if you're too lazy to go and look, here's the list. What are the minimum recommended requirements? Here they are. Though I wouldn't worry much about them. If your PC was made or updated relatively recently, you should have no issues running this. How do I change my vocation? Follow this path over to Baldy, talking to whom will allow you to change your vocation and skills. For other questions, I'd recommend you jump into the Discord server and ask there. You can ask them in the comments, but I'm not familiar enough with the ins and outs to provide solid answers to most questions. I made this video solely to give people like me who struggle without a full visual guide a chance to enjoy this wonderful game. Now, go out and have some fun, Arisen!